My guest is here. You know him already. His name is Olumide Kayode Omosebi. He's a lawyer and the CEO of Gnosis Help Initiative. We also have a special guest in the studio with us. And as usual, we'll tease you a little bit, and you get to meet our guest very shortly. But before we get into today's conversation, let's hear Olumide say something to the people.
Good morning.
It's your manifesto time. Why should we vote for you? Good morning, how are you?
I wanted to say I will put air conditioning in every bus stop to reduce the effect of global warming.
My goodness.
That is what we say in Nigeria.
What's your look? I'll look up to you on the ballot box.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you once again for joining our program. Onye, always good to see you. Thank you
very much
for always being there with the difference. Hope your week has been good.
Yes, it has been good. Thank you very much. Same to you. How was your week? I'm always afraid to ask you that question.
I was supposed to be on but it doesn't work. At home, I'm a midwife now. I told you.
Oh, your dogs, yes. How are the puppies doing?
I just want them to
fine breed,
to
German
just
Shepherd.
grow and people, because somebody has paid for one. I think
Fantastic. This one's present, so I like dogs. Let me just put it up. I put a red ribbon on one and bring this to the office next week.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you for always being there in the morning to be with us. And for those of you that stayed with us all through the year, waking up every morning to listen to me, I really thank you. Let me just go straight into the matter. Yes, because today is kind of very hot. So, 5 days ago, that is on Monday, a 49-year-old Lawrence Itakwe stabbed his wife, Rebecca Itakwe, who was just 47, to death in their home at Seaside Estate, Badori in Ajah. The couple had a disagreement over water. The argument kind of degenerated into a fight. Water. And in the process, Mr. Lawrence allegedly went to the kitchen, took a knife and stabbed his wife in the neck, leading to her death. He has been arrested, by the way, and is now at the state CID team. Now, little stories here and there is that Mr. Lawrence had been a hot-tempered man and there was always issues. I mean, if water could cause the death of his wife, you could imagine yes. So people had said they told the wife to leave because it was a very, very abusive marriage. But she stayed on, according to advices and, of clergy and some elders who said he would change, that don't worry, that she just held on to the belief that he would change. Well, I'm not saying that she had no issues of her own, probably, not that the man was 100%. She also had her own issues, but the marriage, from her point of view, was that, maybe things would change. So this has been the bane and the reason a lot of people remain in abusive marriages and relationships. The idea that he or she would change, especially clergy, whenever there is an issue, and clergy is called into it, no matter how bad, they would say, he would change, and what God cannot do does not exist. Elders and family members always say that too, that don't worry, he would change. So this has led to my topic for today. Can a person's character change? Can a person change? By a person changing means the character of a person will change. So first of all, let us define what the word character is. The first thing about character is that it is a noun, which means it is a person. As a noun is the name of any person, place, or thing. Character, defined by the Oxford Dictionary, is the mental, moral qualities distinctive to an individual, which means the way a man thinks and behaves. Britannica Dictionary defines character as the way someone thinks, feels, and behaves. The word character means the way somebody thinks, feels, and behaves. So character basically is the thought process, because it is the way a person thinks from his thoughts that he would behave, the way he processes information. So character is the dynamic of a person's thoughts. The word character is often interchanged with the word personality when they say his personality. And the dictionary, Cambridge, also defines personality as the kind of person you are by the way you feel, behave, and think. So this is the question: can the person's character or personality, whichever way you want to call it, can it change? I will try to be fast. A child is born with an inherited feature and temperament. We know that every child that is born looks like somebody in the family because of DNA, brother, father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, aunt. So they inherit their first form in life. That is the way they look and the way their temperament is. However, this changes largely as shaped by their living environment, and that is the way they are raised. A child's personality, they say, is developed by the age of 3. So a study funded by the Health Research Council in New Zealand, partnered by the US and Britain as well, which happened in 1972, tracked the lives of 1,000 babies born at Queen Mary's Hospital. That is in 1972 and 1978. They were assessed by child psychologists every 2 years. So from the age of 3 to 15, then 18 to 21. And the Institute of Psychiatry in London said this study was the most comprehensive evidence to date that personality traits are apparent in toddlers and continues to maturity, which means that by the age of 3 years, it is possible to predict the kind of adult a child would be from the age of 3. So by 12, research also confirms that the stage of the highest parental influence, let me say, the highest environmental influence on a child is between the ages of that 3 to 12, because a child's character is fully formed by the age of 12. So you have between 0 years to 12 years to raise a child. After 12, there is absolutely almost nothing you can do, because the child's brain, the child's character is fully formed. When you get to Proverbs 23:7, for as a man thinks in his heart, so is he, which confirms the definition of the word character, the way a man thinks and behaves. Recent brain research indicates that birth to 3 years are the most important in the child's development, and that the period for greatest impact of parenting on a child for development occurs at adolescence, which is the age of 12. So now let us go back to the question: can a man's character change? I would follow the idea that when you are looking for someone who owes your father, you also should not hesitate to see who your father owes. So the real question now becomes, who wants the character to change? From can a character change to who wants the character to change? Is it the owner of the character, or the lover of the owner of the character, which means can character change by proxy? I really hope that you understand what I am saying. Can you make a person change? Or is it the person who owns the character that can change? The problem we have is that in relationships and marriages, some people meet somebody and then decide that I will change this person. And that is where I have this problem that has cost so many people's lives, because they made themselves a social experiment to see whether a person can change. You meet a man at 30, you meet a woman at 27, after they are fully formed. That is, their character was fully formed at the age of 12, and you meet the person at 30, 18 years after, and just decide by yourself that you will change this man. He's hot-tempered, don't worry. If I show him some love, I will change this man whose character has been fully formed. The question is, the parents of that person did not change them, were not able to impact them from 0 to 12. It is you who has now met the person at 30, at 25, at 40, that now believes that you will change what was fully formed at the age of 12. My question is that, do you have a degree in psychology or psychiatry? Even with that, have you changed someone before, or attempted to change an animal before, so you can use that as a control experiment for character change? Have you changed someone before that gives you the idea that you can change a person's character, an adult's character who you have just met? Have you changed the character of a dog, a cat? Have you taken a dog, an aggressive dog, and changed the dog to a passive dog? And then you say, because I did it with this animal, I can succeed with a man. So from what experience or confidence, or what gives you the idea, the boldness, the arrogance that you think you can change a person? Because it is an act of arrogance. Change cannot be by proxy. You cannot want a person to change when the person feels they are okay. I cannot pray that, okay, Onye, I want you to be dark. Maybe she likes being fair. So I now start praying and fasting for Onye's complexion to change. Or Onye is very selfish, and I start praying, God, make her, I will start giving her things, giving her, showing her love, so that she will no longer be selfish. Is that a waste of time or an intelligent decision? I will conclude, I will give you my conclusion that you cannot change anybody. The only people that can change are the people that want to change, and wanting to change is a personal decision. And you are not responsible for the change of anybody. Let us look at this. Lucifer was God's archangel, was described in Isaiah 14. I'm sorry to those that are not Christians, but I want to make it from the religious point of view, because a lot of these people get a lot of advice, especially from the religious ones, quoting that what God cannot do does not exist. Don't worry, he will change, she will change. So they will tell you to put your life as a bet that somebody will change. No matter the hardship, you keep saying, don't worry, just stay there. Now look at this. Lucifer was God's archangel. When you look at Isaiah 14:12, he was referred to as the son of the morning. And Christ was the bright and morning star, to show you the height of Lucifer's influence and authority. But then in Revelation 12, you saw that there was war in heaven. Michael fought against the dragon. Now Lucifer was referred to as the dragon. Verse 9 says, the great dragon was cast out. And verse 12 says, rejoice, O ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Why? Because Lucifer was cast down. Now this is the question. God created Lucifer, right? Mm-hmm. So if I created you, that means everything in you I put. So why didn't God just simply change Lucifer? He can. Do you know he can? God can. But he didn't. Why? Because he has left, when he created you, he gave you your C of O, your certificate of ownership. So it will be legal if God goes to you and takes something without your permission. So God actually could have just changed Lucifer, but he did not. Then Lucifer was cast to earth, and then you, human, believes that you can change someone who you did not create when even the creator did not change them. Who are you? With the snap of a finger, God can change everybody to become submissive. If it is a good Christian, to worship him and, directly, God can do that and make everybody on earth just snap the fingers. God destroyed the earth one time with a flood, according to the Christian religion, according to the Bible, because the heart of man was wicked and his thoughts were continuously wicked. So you meet a wicked person and then you believe, I will change him and it will be. But God did not even try to change. God destroyed and started all over again. So the question is, if God who created them is not contending to change, who do you think you are that you believe you met someone and you will begin to change the person? So your life becomes a social experiment to see if a man or a woman will change. You see, so many people have paid the ultimate price for believing they can change a person. Number one, it is not your job to change the person. It is the parents' job. That person has parents that has a family that was supposed to have groomed him. They failed. That was supposed to have groomed her. They failed. But then the character is fully formed. You meet them years after, and then you believe that you can do what their parents, what their genealogy could not do. Why is it suddenly your problem? Why do you embark on that kind of journey just to change it? It is not your business. It is not your problem. When you see character that does not match, you leave. God saw character in his own angel cast out and judged. He could have changed, but he didn't. Because it is not for him. He has already given you your choice. You chose or were raised to become like this. Let me give you another example. On the 10th of February 2018, Mbeudima Samuel from Awo Idemili, I think local government of Imo State, killed his wife of just 4 months. She was pregnant with his child and put her corpse in his car and drove her around for 24 hours. Eventually drove to his father's house in Lagos and did not inform them until 9 a.m. the following day that his wife's corpse was in the car. This happened on the 10th of February 2018. Now, let us go back. How did this start? This woman started dating this gentleman. Her name is Gloria. Started dating him, I think Gloria Onyedikachi Obina. And I think she was from around Zogu. Can you pronounce that? But you are nodding your head, but I may not pronounce it well.
Commending your effort.
She had been dating this man and he was violent. She had broken up with him a couple of times. The man will come back and say, he will change, that he's sorry, he won't do it again. So she will go back and then the same thing will happen. Then she, not once, not twice, not 3 times. So her friends now prevailed that, listen, either date this gentleman, let him go. And then she said she's ready, she would, but the idea was that he would change. So the last one, she now said she's not doing again. By the time she left, she now found out that she was pregnant. Now she couldn't, according to them, they thought that meant marriage. So she went back to get married and he beat her to death in the 4th month of their pregnancy. Why? The foundation was, I will change, he will change. Do you know how many people have lost their lives, lost their limbs, lost their peace to emotional abuse? How many people are damaged now because of the ideology that you can change someone either by prayer